A very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to another exciting BBA webinar. My name is Shamala Yusuf and I will be the host for the next hour. Just quickly going through our usual housekeeping details. This webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded soon after. So please keep an eye out for the link and feel free to rewatch it or share it with a colleague. Our chat feature is enabled, so please feel free to pop us any questions that you have, and our panelists will try their best to answer your questions towards the end of the webinar. Today we are discussing the importance of testing beyond compliance and exploring the value-added aspects of specialist product testing, including three main aspects of product testing, which is helping mitigating risk, support a robust innovation process, and support consistency of quality and safety in the global construction supply chain. To talk us through more of this in detail, we have Guy Ash, BBA's Program Director. So I will seamlessly pass it on to Guy for a short introduction before I move on to my set of questions. Guy, please.
Thank you, Shamala, and welcome to everybody. I hope wherever you are, you have air conditioning today. So I'm a relatively new addition to the team here at the BBA. I've only been here for 10 months. And my role is to lead the BBA test business and to provide strategic direction to the role of BBA test within both the BBA and also the wider construction industry. I've got over 16 years experience within the testing, inspection and certification industry. That's in a variety of roles from commercial through to operational. Most recently, my roles have been focused on change management within UK laboratories. So that's refocusing core service offerings and ensuring an agile approach to the needs of both customers and the wider industry to ensure the role of the testing laboratory goes above and beyond that of a compliance testing house. So I've really enjoyed my getting to understand a new industry and immersing myself in it from a testing, inspection, certification perspective. I'm now keen to continue to further my knowledge of the industry by spending more time with our clients to understand their key drivers and to gain an understanding of how they would like to work with the BBA and then how the BBA can partner them in an evolving way. I've also really enjoyed my time so far with the BBA. Been really impressed with the wealth of knowledge that we hold within the business, and I'm very much looking forward to ensuring that the testing part of our business plays a pivotal role within the industry over the coming years in what promises to be a transformative time for the construction industry and a time where I believe the BBA's role in the industry becomes increasingly important.
Thank you. That's a lovely introduction, much better than what I could ever do. So thank you for that. My first question to you guys with regards to new product development. How does product testing specifically support a robust new product development or support an innovation process?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think testing is a crucial element of quality assurance, and quality assurance goes beyond product compliance. So product innovation in the construction industry is booming. The annual innovation survey states that only 3% of companies within the construction industry in the UK scale back on innovation. So that means that 97% see their innovations through. Now, assuring the quality of a new or innovative product's design, performance, safety and compliance is imperative for all companies to focus on during the product design and development process. This is important in all industries, but it carries even more importance within the construction industry, where performance and safety are crucial components of new and innovative products. So testing is a requirement throughout the new product development cycle, whether that's done in-house or whether that's done through a third-party testing laboratory to ensure the product will perform as it was intended to do so. But by using a third-party laboratory like BBA, clients can also utilize the breadth and depth of experience that BBA Test holds to support that product development. Now, within BBA Test, we have over 250 years of cumulative experience in testing and assessing products. Not all from just senior guys, by the way. We are bringing some new blood on board too, but which can be an invaluable support to our clients to utilize during their R&D stages for product development. This expertise can also ensure that the design of the products keeps compliance in mind before you're going into mass production, ensuring the product performs well and is compliant to the relevant regulatory requirements.
Thank you. So I think that naturally takes me to then talking about mitigating risk. How does product testing then subsequently help a business to mitigate risk?
I mean, it's a really important question. And for me, there are three main elements to how testing can mitigate risk. So you've got product quality, product safety, and then brand reputation. And if I expand on each of those areas in turn, with product quality, testing ensures that the product performs as it is intended from the design stage. So that's not only through pre-production testing, but also from having in place an ongoing surveillance program that ensures the product continues to be manufactured as designed, and so it continues to perform as designed. Now, this allows a manufacturer to develop confidence in their suppliers and allows them to build confidence from their clients, knowing that their products retain the expected level of quality throughout their available life cycle. This is also an important aspect for other sections of the industry to consider. For example, warranty providers can mitigate the risks of costly payouts by employing a surveillance testing schedule to give greater confidence on their investment by further ensuring the quality of the products that they are covering. So moving on to product safety, testing ensures that the product not only complies with the relevant regulatory requirements, but also ensures that the product meets safety critical criteria, and so ensures that a manufacturer's product will be safe and fit for purpose when in use. Now, I don't need to labour the point for how important an aspect safety is. We're all very aware of that. But the importance of mitigating the risk associated from a safety critical failure of any product cannot be understated. And testing plays a critical role in ensuring safety at all stages of the product's life cycle. So from development testing to compliance testing, and then on through to surveillance testing. So finally, we come to brand reputation. Now, brand reputation is really a result of both product quality and product safety. So by having a robust testing scheme in place, the quality and safety of the company's products are assured, which strengthens the brand's reputation. This in turn creates more confidence from the purchaser, so be that a housing developer, civil contractor, and so they are more likely to place orders with the company based on having a high level of confidence in the safety and performance of their products. Again, this is also true for warranty providers. So by having a robust surveillance program in place, more confidence can be put into the warranties for new build housing, ultimately reducing costly payouts and further protecting brand reputation.
I think a lot of our audience would then subsequently be also thinking about what happens to a product if a certain part of a product is altered or in fact for a new product. So how does product testing then help bring a new or altered product to market?
I think it's a really complex area, and one that I think this is really where BBA test teams' depth and breadth of experience can give huge support. So whenever you're looking to develop innovative products within the construction industry, the regulatory framework that's in place for the UK and EU can seem fairly rigid in the way that it covers product types. So this means that when you're designing an innovative product, it may not always fit easily into a product standard within the current regulatory framework. Or you might make a slight amendment to a product. For example, we had a customer making insulation boards, but then adding fire retardant to the insulation boards. Now, what that means is they need to be entirely retested to a new standard to make sure it's still compliant. Our team of experts at BBA Test can put in place a testing schedule that will take the most relevant parts of the most relevant standards to create a testing schedule to ensure that product is safe and complies to UK and EU regulations. They can also implement a bespoke testing schedule to validate any performance claims that the product is designed to have. So by working in partnership with the BBA Test team, we can also provide insights into areas and requirements that may not have been considered during the development stage of the product. So it's very easy to miss regulatory implications when you're altering a product. You make a slight change to an aspect of your product for improving sales or for a new market, but you don't necessarily consider that might bring into play other requirements that were not previously needed when you originally designed the product or with its previous application.
So then typically, how can product testing support consistency of quality and safety in the global supply chain?
I think this is a very common issue for all companies that are employing a global supply chain. So you put in the hard work into R&D, ensuring quality and safety are implemented into the design of an innovative product, down to all of its component parts, only to then discover later on in the production process that some of the parts have been changed, usually from a factory to save costs, which have then gone on to affect the quality and or the safety of the product. So BBA Test supports its clients by putting in place a surveillance program to address those concerns. We have established cost-effective ways of ensuring the end product remains the same as those initial designs. And this can be done through a reduced testing specification, focusing solely on either the safety critical parts or the performance critical parts, or through utilizing our XRF equipment to ensure that the materials in use are the same as what was signed off at the design stage. Surveillance programs are key for ensuring strong management of a global supply chain, and they're usually implemented with a risk-based profiling approach to different suppliers. So this approach enables the client to build up a risk profile of all suppliers within their supply chain, and then go on to use that profile to denote how much or how little testing of their products needs to be carried out during production. So this approach enables a client to have invaluable data on their suppliers to assist them in future decisions over who to utilize for different product supply, and it also enables them to ensure that they maintain their own brand reputation by minimizing the number of poor quality products to reach the market if they have had any issues with their supply chain. So this approach can also be adopted by warranty providers, putting in place cost-effective measures to have a reduced scope on-site testing schedule to give greater confidence in the sign-off of new build developments. Now, we can offer a wide range of options for a surveillance program, and this can be done from clients sending us samples from their own production sites at different stages of production, or from BBA carrying out mystery shopping to ensure we are testing representative products from what is currently available on the market. But by incorporating a surveillance program into a company's standard quality assurance program, then the company can develop a far more robust control over maintaining quality within their supply chain.
Thank you, Guy, for that answer. So I think now I'm going to move towards thinking more sustainably. How can product testing then encourage us to think more sustainably?
I mean, look, sustainability is certainly high on everyone's agenda, everywhere at the moment, and rightly so, but even more so within the construction industry. So whether this is through bringing new innovative materials into existing products, such as insulation or membranes, or new advances into the built environment and housing developments, like heat pumps or other methods to move towards creating more sustainable new build housing. At BBA Test, we have the facility to support validating the sustainability credentials for a wide range of products, which will support the construction industry in developing an increasing array of more sustainable products. So one great example of this is within work that we have carried out for one of our installation clients, reviewing the performance characteristics of new materials to enable them to move away from less sustainable materials in their installation products to more sustainable materials, without compromising on the thermal performance of their products. Now, whilst moving to more sustainable materials is crucial for the industry, it must be done in a way that won't compromise the safety or performance of the products. BBA Test can support by ensuring that these elements are maintained, while we see an increasing shift into a more sustainable future for the wider construction industry.
So then what sort of specialist product testing does the BBA then offer?
So, the BBA Test, we largely operate in the following segments. So we have microgeneration, insulation, fenestration, cladding, membranes, HAPAS, pipes, paints and coatings, structural loading, and cavity trays. It's quite a wide range as it stands anyway. And within these segments, BBA Test offer the usual compliance and R&D testing, but we can also offer bespoke testing alongside our clients' wishes. Now, this could take the form of validating a particular performance characteristic, a product's fitness for purpose, or it could be to review specific fault areas to look at why a product has failed in use or failed against the standard, to also enable better design. However, our team of experts, coupled with the depth and breadth of expertise we hold in the wider BBA, enable us to utilize our facility to offer more bespoke testing regimes across a wider range of products, and to cover a wide range of requirements, moving from performance validation through to fault investigations. And again, utilizing equipment such as our XRF scanner, BBA Test can also carry out an array of assessments at a site. Now, this could be as simple as verifying that a product being installed is the same as what was agreed at a project sign-off stage, or carrying out some assessments such as load bearings slip testing, trip assessments, and more. Now, these tests can be done at speed, on site. Sampling can also be done from the site for tests that need to be carried out in the laboratory. Now, what all this does is give the client confidence that the assessment that we're doing is representative of the products due to be installed and or location. We see these services being advantageous for both the manufacturers looking to have further validation of their supply chain and manufacturing processes, and also again for warranty providers looking to get validation of their investments on a development. So it enables the client to go above and beyond the usual paperwork check to give increased confidence and to mitigate risk for their cover.
So to summarize, what is your reflection of product testing at the BBA?
Well, I've been amazed at the array of product types that we have in our lab at any given time. It creates a great mix of work and ensures that no 2 days are the same, which is great for me. I've really enjoyed seeing our team working with our clients on installing products in preparation for testing. Now, that collaborative approach is great to see, and it also shows the value that our team can offer to our clients in the work that we do. Now, the majority of what we do is still around the standard compliance work. So whether that is for your EU or UK regulations, or whether it's for compliance to a BBA Agreement certificate. But I've already seen the shift to a different approach from our team, as well as from our clients. And so I'm keen to encourage this change as much as possible in order to develop those stronger partnerships with our clients and ensure a strong input into the industry for the BBA. You know, we pride ourselves on being flexible to work with, and also on finding a solution to any issue or any verification that they want to achieve with their products. So if there is one key takeaway that I would like our clients and prospective clients to take from this session, is to come and have a conversation with us. From myself and our team, we feel there's a lot of value we can add, and we're very keen to have those conversations.
Thank you, Guy, for comprehensive answers to my questions. We have a few questions that have come through from the audience, so I'll just address them one by one. The first question is from Tristan. He asks, I'm aware that historically, at least, there has been a BBA test category of not tested. How can this be, as it is far removed from compliance? It invites abuse, allowing product owners to claim having a test certificate, which they've paid for, which misleads industry and broader society to believe a satisfactory measure of performance has been achieved when actually it has not.
So I think in that case, now I would need to have a deeper dive into any specific case. Generally, any certificate that we issue has to have validation behind it for the product's performance and compliance to the requirements under that certificate. So sometimes it doesn't need to be tested with the BBA. If the client that comes to the certificate has their testing carried out at an approved laboratory, then that test report is absolutely fine. So there is a section on our request form that states no testing needed, but that relates to the testing is already in place somewhere else. I'm not sure, Tristan, if that answers your question. If there's a specific case that you'd like to discuss, more than happy to take that one offline with you.
Thank you. Then Tristan comes back again asking, to what extent is BBA certification backed by insurance?
So again, a bit of a, not sure I really understand the question there, Tristan, but again, more than happy to pick this one up with you after the session. All our certificates are issued based on having a robust scheme in place for initial testing, a review from our project managers to ensure that the right conditions and application of the products have been met for what would deem to be safe to require a BBA certificate. It is then reviewed on an annual basis as well to ensure that we are reviewing the documentation. It is all up to date and in place for the requirements of the certificate, and that the right relevant test reports are in place to back it up as well. But again, if there is a specific case you'd like to discuss, I'm more than happy to pick it up with you.
Thank you. The next question is from Peter Atchison. He says, quality manufacturers operate a system of FPC in line with international standards to maintain manufacturing quality. Are you suggesting that this is carried out externally? I can understand using your testing during product development if this fast-track certification, as you already have the data. Is this the basic premise?
Yes and no is the ambiguous answer to that one, I'm afraid. So there are many different ways of ensuring compliance throughout your supply chain and making sure that there are measures in place. Not everyone applies the same process, so there are different ways of making that approach. Having your testing done at the BBA does not give you a fast track to certification, but ensuring you have your testing in place at an early stage certainly makes the process quicker and simpler to progress with.
Thank you. The last question is from Harry. He says, can BBA offer UK CA tested by EU NB? Yes, NB is notified body.
The difficulty with UKCA at the moment, as we're all aware, is it's still not technically in place, and the rules still state that everything would have to be done through a UK laboratory. Now, there are questions to be resolved over the current capacities of UK laboratories across the whole industry, and not just construction industry, across all product categories. And so what the final decision would be on whether that has to still be maintained through a UK laboratory or whether that can be done through European laboratories under the ILAC umbrella are still to be decided. The recent report was issued, the Hutton report, in relation to the Grenfell inquiry, which has highlighted this as a concern and stated that there is the potential to review ILAC accredited laboratories or laboratories accredited under the ILAC scheme to be able to still offer UK CA, but that is still not signed into law, and currently it would still be, as in the plans, that a UK laboratory would need to carry out testing for a UK CA mark.
Thank you. I think that's all the questions that we have. Oh no, there's just one more. Thanks for your answers. Who tests the testers? Does the BBA use a process of external audit slash validation of its own performance consistency? Or does BBA do its own internal auditing only?
No, well, we do have our own internal audit process, but we are also audited annually by UCAS. So the United Kingdom Accreditation Service issues our accreditation as a testing laboratory. And all of the work that we carry out, or the majority of the work that we carry out on site, 90%, 95%, is covered under our UCAS accreditation. And in fact, any tests that we do for the purposes of certification do fall under our UCAS accreditation scope. There are a couple of performance verification criteria tests we carry out that would not be under our UCAS accreditation. However, due to our 17026 laboratory accreditation, they are still covered by a UCAS scope. So we're policed by UCAS, and they have a very robust system for ensuring that the processes and the calibration of our equipment is carried out correctly. But it's also something that we are very strong on internally to make sure we have the process in place with our own quality measures to make sure that's a key driver for us.
I think the next question is a little bit about lead times and to how quickly test reports are turned around. So if you could just briefly touch upon lead times.
Absolutely. Now, it very much depends on the test. So within the construction industry, there's a lot of tests that do require a lot of conditioning, so preconditioning, and that could be 3 months, 6 months, even longer. So for those tests, then the turnaround time becomes extended as a result of what's required under it. What we try and make sure we're doing is turning around a quotation to our customers within 5 working days. We then want to be very clear in terms of what the current lead time is for equipment. So if there is a wait on a piece of equipment, we can be very clear in terms of when it becomes available, and then the length of testing that will be required on the back of that test. So what you should be getting from BBA Test is a quotation issued within 5 days. You should then, with that quotation, be able to be given a full turnaround time and schedule for testing. So you should have complete clarity over how long it's going to take for you to get your test report issued.
I think that's all the questions that we have for now. Thank you, Guy, for joining us today. Oh no, there's one more question. Sorry. Do you issue a list of available tests along with lead time and costs? I'm not sure.
So we can absolutely issue a list of tests. We have that available for everyone to see. Now, it's across a wide range of segments. Costs are a difficult one to put by test because it does depend on the product. It depends on then what specific testing, how many times it needs to go through a cycle, etc., have to be done. So there's no specific cost that would say either a product would cost X or a specific test costs Y. But we're more than happy to discuss with you any project that you have coming up or any products to give you a ballpark figure at the start or to fully scope out a testing cost for you. Again, more than happy to put you in conversation with either myself, my team, or our sales team to be able to give you that level of clarity.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I think that's all the questions for now. If you have, if the audience, if you have any questions after the end of the webinar, please feel free to send us an email at hello@bbasarts.co.uk. Thank you for joining us. Just to reiterate, this webinar is being recorded and it will be up shortly. So please feel free to rewatch it or share it with a colleague. Thank you for joining us this afternoon and have a lovely day. Thank you, Guy.
Thanks, all. Thank you, Shmaila.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.